The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
I say it's time we focus on what really matters. The games. Who's with me?
Hello, welcome to PSX Plus for January 16, 2019. It is I, Justin Pickard, your host for the day. Seth is out today. He wasn't able to record this week. Usually he does the Plus episodes and kind of gives his thoughts on things for the week of PlayStation news and releases. But I will be helping out with that today. So I guess I'll just kind of get into it. A few things this week. I'll start with the news, let's say. I do want to talk about Dreams. Not really a news story as much as kind of just the ongoing story of people being frustrated with the beta rollout. Even within our PSVG community, a lot of people have not gotten a beta code yet. I did receive a beta code. Unfortunately, I have not been able to play it yet. I'm busy with life. But no one else has gotten it in our PSVG group, or not many have gotten it, including Seth, who is also very excited for this game. And it kind of seems to be the story that people who were the few people that were very excited to play did not receive codes. And of course, they don't know who's excited for it and who's not, but they don't seem to be rolling out very many at a time. Kind of makes it look like they're just very worried about what's going to happen when they have a influx of massive player counts. So we will see what happens if they roll that out more, and I don't really know if we know how long the beta will last. Another little frustrating bit is you do have to sign an NDA to play the beta, which seems a little bit curious when no one really knows what this game is exactly, but they're going to stop them from playing the early version from talking about it. Which, that means good or bad, but it means kind of a lack of faith, I feel like, in the game, to not let people talk about it. So we shall see if that gets kind of turned around a little bit. They're not going to take away the NDA, but maybe they can get more of those player counts in, and we can privately talk about it. Another big story from this week, kind of just within the last couple of days, it is kind of blown up a little bit, but EA canceled their open world Star Wars. Now, I didn't really know this open world Star Wars game still existed. The last I knew, Visceral Games was developing a third-person action game set in the Star Wars universe. That was going to be led by Amy Hennig when she was still with EA, but they let her go, I think last year or the year before, and they transitioned the development over to another EA studio up in Canada, or EA Vancouver, and apparently they changed it into an open world game, but now that is also canceled. So, not great news for Star Wars fans who want to see a good Star Wars game come out. EA earned that license for Star Wars quite a few years ago now, and Battlefront has been going okay. There was a lot of pushback on Battlefront 2, I know, but it seems like overall it's an okay game. Very similar to Battlefront 1, or the original reboot of Battlefront. And yeah, I don't know. My thoughts are just that I think EA is really screwing this up. I don't know if they're just trying to throw money at a problem and it's not working, or what, but I certainly wanted to see the linear action-adventure game, with Amy Hennig would have produced or directed, and then switching it to an open world game seems like a big mistake to me. I don't really know who was okay with that decision, because I don't think that's what Star Wars fans want to see. I definitely don't think so. So either way, it has been canceled. I guess we'll find out maybe at E3 or maybe later if they revive that project in another way or with another studio. But for now, it looks like the only I think the only updated Star Wars game we're going to get is going to be from the same group that made Titanfall. So, and I still have high hopes for that. Titanfall 2 had an amazing campaign, and we shall see if they can kind of pull off a really cool campaign with Star Wars license. Another news item to note is that Bungie and Activision have ended their partnership as of last week. Now, I believe Bungie was kind of counting down the days until they could kind of separate themselves from Activision a little bit. I know Activision had kind of been out there saying, it wasn't performing quite as much as they wanted with Destiny 2. So I could see how they just wouldn't want this bigger company watching over them. I believe Bungie will now be kind of self-publishing Destiny content going forward. I don't know if they'll look for another partner for whatever Destiny 3 is going to be, but certainly a very big, that was a huge announcement back in the day that they left Xbox and left Microsoft and joined forces with Activision. So we shall see what happens with Bungie and Destiny, but as for Destiny players, nothing will change. Kind of just a lot of money probably moving around. And then that is kind of it as far as big news stories for me. Nothing really caught my eye this week. A couple other smaller articles that I wasn't really too interested in. So we'll kind of move over to the drop and talk about a few games that are coming out this week. Big one this week is Ace Combat 7, which I know has a PSVR mode in it, which should be, I imagine, very nauseating. But who knows, maybe Kyle or Donnie will be able to give it a shot. It is a full price game, so you definitely want to be interested in that game. I've played a few of the Ace Combat games. They're just really incredible games. The graphics are always really incredible. It's impressive they make it work. And combat can get a little bit dry from this, but very cool nonetheless. There's a Grand Tour game coming out. Grand Tour is in the Amazon show. Clarkson. Onimusha Warlords. That is a re-release is coming out on PS4 this week. I know Onimusha is a really popular older game. I never played it. It's a samurai game. I know it's held in high regard. So it sounds like it's got a decent enhanced version. We shall see. Panda Hero. Release the panda and you take on the role of the mighty panda and tread your path unerringly. Skillfully dodge your attackers and sweep aside any creatures standing in your way. Attack! Well, that sounds interesting, I suppose. Low budget. The Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo that has come out, that is already released as of recording, and early impressions out of that seem to be very good. People are very excited. It looks incredible. It's in the Resident Evil 7 engine, but they recreated Resident Evil 2, and I'm a big scaredy cat, so I probably won't try it or won't buy the game, which kind of makes me think I should at least play the one-shot demo. I know the one-shot refers to you only get 30 minutes to play. That's it. You can't replay it. It's not like other demos where you can keep playing it over and over and over again. It's 30 minutes and you're done. So maybe I should just subject myself to 30 minutes of horror and then cry myself to sleep. Vane is out, which looked cool, but I had seen some news articles saying it wasn't that great, but who am I to judge? It definitely looked very interesting, kind of set in the desert wasteland and looked kind of cool. Walking Dead final season episode 3, the final episode. The same production company that was producing another Walking Dead show or something. I don't remember exactly. This thing's been a huge mess. They're still saying it's a Telltale series, which really bothers me. They should just cut their name out of this promo art because they just don't deserve any recognition for what's going on with this game. They really screwed over a lot of people, and they closed their studio down abruptly and left a lot of people without jobs, without insurance, without a lot of things, really. And that's really horrible. So, nonetheless, I think they're going to finally wrap up that storyline with Clementine. And Y2K a postmodern RPG. I actually checked this one out. Well, I haven't played it yet, but I watched the trailer for it. It is a JRPG, but I don't really know how to describe. It's almost like Undertale, where it seems to have kind of playing out these weird actions, not always just choose magic or fight. You can choose to do weird things like dance or something like that. I don't know. It looked interesting. It's certainly a lower budget game. I don't know what the price is on it, but had me curious. It's one of those games where someone put a lot of time and energy into this game and wrote out a full story, and the art looks pretty decent. I wouldn't say amazing or anything, but I might check that out. Just kind of support whoever made this. So that is it for the drop. That is it for news this week. That is it for PSX Plus this week, really. Now, if the audio sounded weird in this episode, I apologize. Usually I record a different way, but I decided since I'm doing it solo, I'm doing it Audacity, and sometimes that sounds weird, I notice sometimes. So. And also no backing music this week. Seth kind of takes care of that, and he's out this week, so sorry about that, but hopefully you didn't mind me rambling on for 10 minutes about games and a few news items. Either way, me and Seth will be back next week with a regular episode of PSX, and I can't wait. I miss Seth. I miss him. Alright, I'm out. Never stop.
And though we may pledge fanboy allegiances to different flags, deep down inside we all serve one master, one king. And his name is gaming. Forever may he reign!
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network.